Hello, good people. How are you doing? My name is Karimakos, and welcome back to another video. I know it's been long since I last made a video, but yeah, I've been busy. I hope you've been busy too with some projects here and there, and I really hope that you're making something out of it. So, as a junior developer, and in the last few weeks, I've been juggling my mind around USSD codes. USSD codes is an abbreviation of unstructured supplementary service data. Yeah, I think so. So what usually happens with USSD codes, and for those of you who don't know what USSD codes are, they are basically like what you have like star 444 hash, star 144 hash, star 131 hash. They are basically such codes. They are called USSD codes. What they usually do, all the basic explanation for them is once a customer dials a certain service code or USSD code, the service provider is supposed to query a certain application that has been made by someone, and then that application is supposed to give them a response, the service provider a response, and then the service provider is supposed to send the customer the response as plain text. They're basically very popular for services in countries where um, internet penetration is pretty low, and they are quite also popular here in Africa. For example, brands like, for example, Safaricom and Airtel, they are popularly they popularly have those USSD codes for bridging of different services of the different services that they offer. For example, data bundles is what we call SMSs and such issues. So in this particular video, I want to talk about USSD codes. And as you all know, or most of you who've possibly watched or probably watched some of my previous videos, I usually make a video depending on my experiences. So 2 weeks ago, I got this client through Facebook. He did DM me and ask me whether I have an idea of how to work around a simple application using SSD codes. And I had never made such a project using SSD codes. And all I had never had like any interaction with SSD code. And yeah, I said I have, just like any other normal person. Yeah. So, and he kind of told me that I should make a simple demo for him and then send him a video, which I did. And in this particular video, is my experience is what I basically want us to talk about, and then possibly you're going to get inspired, or you can even like think of a way of like sort of trying to to do a similar thing. For this video, you're going to maybe need to familiarize yourself with African stocking. And you'll need to familiarize yourself with Xampp and Grok. Those are basically the main things that you'll need to know about. And let's get started. So the first thing I want you to do is install Xampp. You can download it depending on the operating system that you're using. You can download it and install it. Make sure you download it and install it. The next thing I want you to do is download Grok. Um, I think you can just it's easy to download. You just need to download it and install it, and then I'm going to maybe describe or show you how you can use it. It's actually free. So I don't know, maybe you can go here to get and then click on download, and you can download it again depending on your operating system. Once that's done, the next thing I want you to do is come back to African Stocking and create a profile. Make sure that you sign up. Because I've already signed up, I'll need not to sign up again. So I'll just log in into my account. Yep. So that is what you need, and we can get started with those two. You're ready to go. So essentially, I need you to understand that USSD are mainly used in countries that do not have like high penetration of internet, and in Kenya particularly, they are popularly used, irrespective of internet being a huge thing here in Kenya. But we still use them basically. So for you to maybe have an overview of how these USSD codes work, I'm just a little bit going to go back so that we can view the documentations. Sorry, yeah, go to documentations. Once you go to documentation, you can go to USSD. I'm just hoping to kind of give you an overview maybe of how a USSD works. So this is how a USSD works. When a customer, for example, let's say that you are Alsaco, you're going to give them a USSD code, maybe *43 hash. That code is going to be sent to the African Stocking API, and then that API is going to um, uh, uh, process a post request or push a post request to your web application. Depending on the logic that you've um, made in your web application, you're going to return or you're going to return a plain text or a response. And then the API crowd of Africa Stocking is going to send an SSD menu to the customer so they can interact with the SSD menu. So there is no need like of internet or something. Yeah. So they can just like use the telecommunication or the SIM card that they are using on their mobile phone, and they're going to interact with the application. So for you to get started, I want us to make a similar, maybe a test or a sample of what I made for that particular client. And yeah, so for us to get started, the first thing I'll need you to do is come to this is how like the whole application is supposed to handle the entire session. And you're definitely the application has a few parameters, and you can see them that they're included here: the session ID, which is the value of every session of a member, the mobile number of the mobile subscriber who is interacting with the USSD, and a ton of other I mainly want to talk about the text, which is now the input that the user is going to key in. For example, whether they're going to select one in the user menu and such things. So for you to interact or to create a web app, this is what I did. I'm going to take you through the journey of what I did. So the first thing, if you've already installed Xampp, you'll need to come to your Xampp folder, local disk, and then your Xampp folder, and then htdocs. And then here, you're going to choose I'll create a folder, and then you're going to create a folder and call it USSD codes. USSD. I've already created my USSD folder, so you can create a similar one. And then once you've created that folder, open it, and then create a file and call it index.php. Index.php. And then once you've created the file, you can now open it with VS Code or whichever editor that you're using. Once you've opened it with VS Code, the other thing I need you to do is to go to your Xampp. See, like you've already installed Xampp. Search for Xampp in your menu bar. You can come here and search for Xampp. Because I've already opened it, I'm just going to open it. And once you've opened it, I want you to click on Start on Apache and Start on MySQL. I need you to start both of those two. Once you've started them, my computer is taking a little longer than it should. Maybe it's because I have opened a few more applications. So you'll need to open the two. And once you have them running, they're going to turn green. Both of them are supposed to turn green when they are up and running. Right. Now you have both of them running. Don't worry about this code. I'm going to explain it in a minute. The next thing I want you to go back to African Stocking, the handle session file, and click on this icon here, the code icon here. Click on it, and then you're going to see the template of how um, Africa Stocking expects like your whole logic or the entire logic of your web application, your SSD web application to be handled. I want you to copy this template in its entirety and come and paste it in your folder that you opened using USSD or using VS Code. The code that I have is a little bit different, and it's a little bit different because this is the same code that I used to uh, create a demo for my client. So essentially, you're supposed to come and select all and then paste your code here. Once you've pasted it, I want you to save it. And once you've saved it, I want you to go to your browser, and then this is what I did, and then go to before you even search for the URL. This is why you are installing Grok. Grok is supposed to help you have your web application that is running locally to run live, so that you can even share that link with someone else. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to write HTTP, and then no, not search. Like I want you to write Grok HTTP and then 80. Essentially, what I'm doing, I'm copying this command, and this command is supposed to create a live link for a web application that is running on port 80. That is all this command does. So as you can see the explanation here, secure public URL for port 80 web server. That is what the command is doing. So, and then I'm going to click on enter, and then it's going to do its magic in the back end, and then it's going to create a link for me. So this is the link that I can share with anyone else, and they are going to see the web application despite the web application being offline. And then you're going to paste that link there, and then click enter. Once you land the link, the first thing it's going to do, it's going to run you on a landing page. This landing page, from what I hear or from what I've run from their but from their from other developers, it's that it's supposed to help them to avoid misuse or abuse. So you can see here, to avoid abuse of like their program. So you can click visit site, and then you're going to see like you're going to go to the dashboard. Now this dashboard is here, is what we have here. Let's go back. This dashboard folder is this dashboard you see here. So essentially, that dashboard is displaying all this, like the application. Now I want you to change that folder to USSD so that you can learn this particular um, web app. So you're going to change that to USSD and click on enter. And then it's most probably going to display an error. But again, this has displays some of the code that we have. That means that we already have it running. Now you can copy that and then go to your Africa Stocking platform. I believe you've already signed in, and if you haven't, please do sign in. And then go to products and then USSD, and you can click on start building, and then click on go to sandbox. And then once in the sandbox, you can go to USSD and then create session, create a channel. For you to create a channel, the callback is going to be the port that you or where your web application is running from, using the publicly available URL. The reason why you couldn't use like a locally host URL, it's because that the Africa Stocking API would not be able to call back the web application because we have only hosted it locally in our devices. But we want to have a public URL that the Africa Stocking API can be able to access. And then the channel here, you can guess any port. I don't know whether that one is used, but if it's used, you can use a different one. But fortunately, it's not used. So this is our USSD code. As you can see, I still have another one. I'm going to remove this one. That was some one of. Oh, sorry, I've deleted the wrong one. Let me delete both and then repeat the same thing again. I just like want us to do it like in a similar way. So you can guess any channel. If the channel that you guess is already taken, they're going to, for example, you can see that this one is taken. So I'm going to select one of which they've given me here. I'm going to copy it and paste it there. And then I'm going to click on create channel, and they've shared or they've given me that code. And for you to interact with it, you just copy and then go to launch simulator. Then this is going to launch a simulator of a mobile phone. I'm going to sign up with a mobile phone, any random number, and then I'm going to open up the dialer, and then I'm going to paste up the SSD code. So now this is what my customers are going to be writing and to be dialing up, and then call it. And then seems that the services are offline at the moment, but if everything is okay on your end, that should run. I don't know how much I'm going to. Yeah, now it's running. So you can select any of the services and click on send, and then you're going to kind of interact with your web application. So this is how the entire USSD idea is working, and then it's going to give you a response. Yeah. So this is basically what I demoed for the client, and yeah. So you're basically still like working on the whole project, and I'm definitely going to share with you guys when I'm definitely not going to share with you because I don't want to kind of the all expose the entire thing that they're doing. But that is basically the whole idea. So this is what I've been doing for the longest, for the time being, and yep. So if you like this video, remember to subscribe as I've always insisted, and yeah, share it with your friends. And if you have any questions, if you want to like interact with me, leave a comment. I'm definitely going to answer. And see you on the next one. Bye.